Hello students, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to conduct the quiz on Class 10th History Chapter 1 Rise of Nationalism in Europe. With quiz, I will give the important facts also which will helpful to understand the concept of this chapter precisely, and you can do the practice also with the quiz. So be with this video till the end. If you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so that you can get the notification of my new videos. Let us start from the first question. After which treaty Greece was recognized as an independent nation? You have to write the correct answer on your own. After that, you have to check out your preparation status and the knowledge about the chapter. The correct option for this question is option D, Treaty of Constantinople. Let us discuss some important facts about this topic. Constantinople was the capital of the Roman Byzantine Empire, the Latin Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. The Treaty of Constantinople was held in February 1832. It was the result of the London Conference of 1832. The London Conference of 1832 was an international conference convened to establish a stable government in Greece. The treaty was participated by the Greek powers, Britain, France and Russia on the one hand and the Ottoman Empire on the other. On 21st July 1832, British Ambassador Sir Stafford Canning and the other representatives concluded the Treaty of Constantinople. It set the border between Greece and Ottoman Empire. After this treaty, Greece was recognized as an independent kingdom with the Arta-Volos line as its northern frontier. These all points are very important for MCQs. So remember these points in a well manner. From which year Greece or Greek War of Independence began? What is the correct option? Do you know the correct option for this question? The correct option for this question is option A, 1821. Now the time for knowing the important facts about the topic. The Greece War of Independence is also known as the Greece Revolution of 1821 or Greek Revolution. It was a successful war of independence by Greek revolutionaries against the Ottoman Empire. It was fought from 1821 to 1829. It was ended in 1832 through the Treaty of Constantinople. Which of the following statements is correct about the Act of Union 1707? This act is very important for exam perspective, so you need to know precisely about this act. The correct option for this question is the United Kingdom of Great Britain was formed. Now the time for knowing the important facts about the topic for solving many direct as well as indirect questions related to the topic. The Acts of Union passed by the English and Scottish parliaments in 1707 led to the creation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. The Acts of Union took effect on May 1st, 1707. This is also a very important point. It resulted in the merger of the Scottish Parliament and the English Parliament and gave birth to the Parliament of Great Britain. Which country was forcibly incorporated into the United Kingdom in 1801? Do you know the correct option for this question? The correct option for this question is option B, Ireland. Let us know some important facts about Ireland and the incorporation of Ireland. Ireland was a country deeply divided between Catholics and Protestants. The English helped the Protestants of Ireland to establish their dominance over a largely Catholic country. Catholic revolts against British dominance were suppressed. After a failed revolt led by Wolfe Tone and his United Irishmen, Ireland was forcibly incorporated into the United Kingdom in 1801. Theobald Wolfe Tone, posthumously known as Wolfe Tone, was a leading Irish revolutionary figure and one of the founding members of the United Irishmen. He is regarded as the father of Irish republicanism and leader of the 1798 Irish Rebellion. The Society of United Irishmen, also simply known as the United Irishmen, were a sworn society in the Kingdom of Ireland formed in the wake of the French Revolution to secure an equal representation of all the people in a national government. These points are very important, so you need to remember these points. Now the question is, which of the following statement is correct with regard to the nationalism in Britain? Let us see the options one by one. A new British nation was forged through the propagation of a dominant English culture. The symbols of the New Britain, the British flag, Union Jack, the national anthem, God Save Our Novel King, and English language were actively promoted. The older nations survived only as subordinate partners in this union. All the above. The correct option for this question is all the above. Now the time for knowing the important facts. The history of nationalism in Britain or the formation of the nation state in Britain was not the result of a sudden upheaval or revolution. The primary identities of the people who inhabited the British Isles were ethnic ones such as English, Welsh, Scot or Irish. The unification of Britain was started through the Union of Act 1707. The British Isles are a group of islands in the North Atlantic Ocean off the northwestern coast of continental Europe, consisting of the islands of Great Britain, Ireland, and Isles of Man, the Inner and Outer Hebrides, and over 6,000 smaller islands. Identify the incorrect statement about the prominent French artist Frédéric Serrieu. This artist played a great role for bringing the feeling of nationalism in Europe as well as in world. So you need to know precisely about this artist. Let us see the options for this question one by one. Frédéric Serrieu prepared a series of 4 prints visualizing his dream of a world made up of democratic and social republics. This is correct. In Serrieu's utopian vision, the peoples of the world are grouped as distinct nations identified through their languages. This is not correct because peoples of the world were identified through their national anthem, national flags, and costumes. The first print of the series shows the peoples of Europe and America, men and women of all ages and social classes, marching in a long train. This is also correct. Serrieu's print brought a staunch feeling of nationalism in France as well as in entire Europe. So what is the correct option for this question? The correct option for this question is option B. In Serrieu's utopian vision, the peoples of the world are grouped as distinct nations identified through their languages. This is not the correct statement about French artist Frédéric Serrieu. In Serrieu's utopian vision, the peoples of the world are grouped as distinct nations identified through their flags and national costumes. Now the time for knowing the important facts about the French artist Frédéric Serrieu. Frédéric Serrieu was a French artist who in 1948 prepared a series of 4 prints. These 4 prints are very important for bringing the feeling of nationalism in France as well as in Europe. These 4 prints visualizing his dream of a world made up of democratic and social republics. The distinct feature of these prints were the representation of man, nations, and allegories. Let us know about the 4 prints. What are there in 4 prints? The first print of the series show the peoples of Europe and America, men and women of all ages and social classes, marching in a long train and offering homage to the Statue of Liberty as they pass by it. Means people were demanding for liberty, means freedom. Second print is that of allegory of liberty in female figure holding torch of enlightenment in one hand and charter on rights of man on the other. Means second print was related to the rights. The third print is that of shattered remains of the symbols of absolutist institutions. Means third print about the identification of the nation. The fourth print refers to his utopian vision in which the peoples of the world are shown marching together on the path of development. Means fourth print was related to the development. This represents the different people of the world grouped under their own nations with symbols of their nationalism like flag and national costume. Leading the procession, way past the Statue of Liberty, are the United States and Switzerland, which by this time were already nation states. What was the name of the revolutionary tricolor of France? Select the correct option. What is the correct option? The correct option for this question is cockade. Now the time for knowing the important facts about the tricolor cockade. The tricolor cockade became the official symbol of the revolution in 1792. This is also very important question for MCQs. The three colors represents the three states of French society. You know that in French society there were three estates. First estate comprised of the clergy people represents blue color. Second estate comprised of the nobility people represents white color. And the third estate comprised of all middle class represents red color. The use of the three colors is spread and a law of 15 February 1794 made them the colors of the French national flag. Now match the following. Napoleon Bonaparte, Louis XVI, Karl Welker, Duke Metternich. Napoleon Bonaparte will be matched with civil code. Louis XVI is related to French Revolution. Karl Welker, Frankfurt Parliament. Duke Metternich, Congress of Vienna. So the correct option for this question is option B. Napoleon Bonaparte is related to Civil Code. Louis XVI is related to French Revolution. Karl Walker related to Frankfurt Parliament, and Duke Metternich is related to Congress of Vienna. About these personality one by one. First, Napoleon Bonaparte and the Civil Code. The Civil Code of Napoleon Bonaparte is one of the most important topics for exam perspective. Questions have been oftenly asked from this topic. So you need to know precisely about this code. Napoleon Code, officially the Civil Code of the French, is the French Civil Code established under the French Consulate in 1804 and still in force although frequently amended. It was drafted by a commission of four eminent jurists and entered into force on 21st March 1804. Now Louis XVI and the French Revolution. Louis XVI was the last king of France in the line of Bourbon monarchs preceding the French Revolution of 1789. He was married to Marie Antoinette and was executed for treason by guillotine in 1793. Now Karl Welcker and Frankfurt Parliament. The Frankfurt Parliament was an all-German national assembly formed by the middle-class professionals, businessmen and prosperous artisans belonging to the different German regions. The Frankfurt Parliament was called to discuss reforms and attempt to draft a constitution for a unified Germany. The Frankfurt Parliament was the first freely elected parliament for all of Germany, including the German populated areas of Austria-Hungary, elected on 1st May 1848. The session was held from 18 May 1848 to 31st May 1849 in the Paaskirche at Frankfurt am Main. Charles Walker was a liberal politician and was an elected member of the Frankfurt Parliament. Now, Duke Metternich and Congress of Vienna. This is also one of the most important topics for exam perspective. Congress of Vienna of 1814 to 1815 was an international diplomatic conference to reconstitute the European political order after the downfall of the French Emperor Napoleon I. It was a conference of ambassadors of the major powers of Europe. It was held in Vienna from November 1, 1814 to June 8, 1815. Now, you should also know about the purposes of this Congress of Vienna. Its purpose was to decide about the political situation in Europe after the defeat of Napoleon. The main purposes of this Congress of Vienna were restore peace and stability to Europe, punish Napoleon for his actions, help the Catholic Church regain power. The Congress was hosted by the Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. Now, result of the Congress of Vienna is also important to know about the topic precisely. France returned territories gained by Napoleon from 1795 to 1810. Russia extended its powers and received sovereignty over Poland and Finland. Austria too did extend its territory. Austrian Netherlands were unified with the Kingdom of Netherlands under the House of Orange. In a technical sense, the Congress of Vienna was not properly a Congress. It never met in plenary session. Instead, most of the decisions occurred in informal, face-to-face sessions. among the great powers of Austria, Britain, France, Russia, and sometimes Prussia, with limited or no participation by other delegates. The essay What is a Nation is based on whose lecture? Do you know the correct option for this question? The correct option for this question is option A, Ernst Renan. Ernst Renan delivered his lecture at the University of Sorbonne in 1882. The French philosopher Ernst Renan outlined his understanding of what makes a nation. The lecture was subsequently published as a famous essay entitled Quest Quen Nation, means what is a nation. In this essay, Renan criticizes the notion suggested by others that a nation is formed by a common language. Choose the statement which is not related to the idea of nationalism in France. The correct option for this question is option B. Regional dialects were encouraged and French didn't become the common language of the nation. This is not the correct statement. Regional dialects were discouraged and French, as it was spoken and written in Paris, became the common language of the nation. The ideas of La Patrie, the fatherland, and Le Citoyen, the citizen, emphasize the notion of a united community enjoying equal rights under a constitution. A new French flag, the tricolor, was chosen to replace the former royal standard. The State General was elected by the body of active citizens and renamed the National Assembly. New hymns were composed, oaths taken, the martyr commemorated, all in the name of the nation. A centralized administrative system was put in place and it formulated uniform laws for all citizens within its territory. Internal customs duties and dues were abolished and a uniform system of weights and measures was adopted. Regional dialects were discouraged and French, as it was spoken and written in Paris, became the common language of the nation. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.